I got it, Christina. We're recording.
I got it too. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So this is my first slide. Here we go. This is my first time doing a Zoom class or presentation. So bear with me if things get wonky. I'm trying my best. All right, so here's some Zoom protocol. First, my name's Christina. I work at the library. I know some of you guys, and I know some of you were probably in the on the waiting list for the last cutting the cord class I had, so I'm glad to be doing another one. And if anybody, if friends or people you know missed this one, like I said, I'm going to record it, but I'm going to hopefully do another one later in the summer or maybe in September. So here's just some things that we just should go over quickly. Zoom protocol. Everyone should be muted. It just cuts down on the background noise of people's homes and things outside and all that stuff. We are going to have breaks every so often where I'm going to be able to answer some questions. If you have a question, you can type it in the chat box and I will address it. So Jenna is here. She's going to help me out. She's the programming librarian, and she will be here looking at the chat during the question points of the presentation, and she's going to kind of let me know what questions there are, and hopefully I'll be able to answer everybody's questions. My email address is at the top of the chat box. So if you are confused about where the chat is, it should be in your menu under more. I hope everyone's looks the same. And chat should be right up at the top of that more menu. If you guys want to just say something in the chat so I know that you can see it, you don't have to. But my email address, once you do get to the chat, is at the top. So if you have a question and you don't feel comfortable typing it in the chat or don't want to ask it now, feel free to email me. I've been having like a tech help this whole time since we've been home, so I can answer questions. I get back to you pretty quickly. I can forward you information, do like research and forward you articles, whatever. So just send me an email if you don't. Oh, good. I'm glad everybody. Oh, you guys don't have an email? You don't see my email address? Do you guys see it's my email address? Someone said they didn't, but.
You might have to scroll up. It's the longer the chat goes, the farther away it is.
Right. The more we chat, the more it's going to, you'll have to scroll up to see it at the top.
We can type it again at the end if you want.
Yeah, I'll type it again at the end. It's in this PowerPoint. It's whatever you call the library, get me. We'll find a way to answer your questions, okay? So, cool. There we go, sorry. Okay, now we're going to start talking about cord cutting. So we have a lot of stuff to go over. This is kind of like a rabbit hole. I've fallen down this rabbit hole of information. There's so much that you can do when you cut the cord, and I'm going to try to lay a lot of it out here. It can be kind of a lot to take in, but yeah, so here we go. Cord cutting, what is it? This is like a definition I found on the internet. The practice of canceling or foregoing a cable television subscription in favor of an alternative internet-based or wireless service. So in place of a cable box and the monthly fee that you pay to rent the cable box, you add and use these channels, or if you like to think of them as apps, channels or apps, through either a smart TV or an external device. So if you guys have a smart TV, everything can be done on there. So that is convenient. If you don't have that, you can purchase an external device, a media hub, and I'm sure you know some of these names: Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick. A lot of people have that. There's the Google Chromecast, and I'm going to talk more about all of those. So what you would do if you cut the cord is you would first purchase one of these external media hubs or devices, and then you're going to be able to access content through those. And I'll tell you more about how to do that on the upcoming slides. So what are the benefits of this of cord cutting itself. You have no more cable fees and a lot of those hidden fees. I tried to do some research on how much people are paying a month for cable, and the numbers don't seem to match up with what my mother tells me she pays a month. So I think it could be a lot. I think there's a lot of hidden fees that you don't realize you're getting. I haven't had cable in a while, or since I've lived at my parents' house, so I don't know a lot about the fees, but I know they add up, and there's contracts. So that could be a big benefit to cord cutting itself. A lot of quality shows and movies that you can't see otherwise, stuff on Netflix or on Prime only, shows and movies on Hulu that you won't be able to watch unless you subscribe to these services, or you can wait for the DVDs, but sometimes those take months and months and months to actually come out. So it could be worth it to get some of these services to see shows that you want to see, shows and movies. So what are some downsides? There are internet fees, and those could be pretty high, depending on all kinds of things, depending on how many people are in your house, how many simultaneous streams you want at one time. So if you have a big family or multiple people in your home and you have one person in one room watching something, someone in another room watching something else at the same time, you're going to have to pay more for internet. Another thing is you will have more bills the more services you subscribe to, more bills instead of one cable bill. So it's kind of something that you have to keep track of every month. You have your Netflix bill and your whatever, Hulu and this and that, YouTube TV. The more you get, the more little bills you got to think about. Another thing, buffering. Of course, we know when the internet is having issues and it's spinning and spinning and not connecting, that could be a pain. It's annoying. One easy fix to that is to getting better internet, and I'll go over that in the next slide. Also, it's hard to get some types of content. Mainly sports is very complicated. So I have a slide at the end that will give you some links to how you can access all of your favorite sports games. It's just that I don't go over it a ton in this presentation. There's so much to go over, and it's a little complicated. But I have some good links to current articles where all these people are going over all kinds of ways that you can get access to sports. So you can see that at the end. And I can also email everybody this PowerPoint so that you can get all of these links later. So we'll figure out how to do that. You can send me an email, and then I will email you back the PowerPoint so that you can have access to these links at a later date. So the first thing I mentioned is good internet. So what does that mean? So internet speed is measured in megabits per second, and you want to kind of be in the neighborhood of 10, which you can figure out if you go to a website to test your internet speed, and I have that towards the bottom of the slide. You can test your internet speed, speedtest.net, speedtest.xfinity.com. There's also just one called fast.com. There's a lot. If you type in Google, you'll find all kinds of websites to test your internet speed, and they will tell you how many megabits per second you're getting. So you may need more, like I say at the top, for live TV and multiple streams. So that is something to think about. If it's just one person in the house or two, and you don't think you'll watch more than one TV show at the same time, you'll probably be fine with 10 megabits per second. And so also you have to think about the location of the router, your wireless router in your home, obstructions to it. If there's a wall in the way, that could affect it. The age of the router, if you have an older one, it might be time to update that. And so when you're checking your internet speed, you want to kind of test over the span of a few days, because different things could affect it at different times. And you want to make sure your internet service provider is giving you the speed that you're paying for. So what you can do is make a note of what your speed test says, and you can call and inquire and see if that's what they're actually promising that you should get. And if not, you've got to figure that out. Now, some things could affect it. Sometimes just a restart, unplug your router, plug back in, and it might just end up working fine. So what does this exactly mean in terms of price? Basically, you're probably going to be spending about $40 to $50 a month, I would say, on internet. You might spend more on the lower end if you are just have the one TV, like I said, and you only want to watch one thing at once, 2 people watching one show. It might be more on the higher end if you're going to have multiple streams, multiple shows happening in different rooms. You'll probably be spending more towards the higher end of that, $50 a month. You can spend even more if you're doing like gaming, things like that. If you have kids and they're going to game, you could spend up to $75 even a month, but in general, it'll probably be somewhere between 40 and 50. So after you get your router, your wireless router, the next thing, and you have some good internet and you're happy with it, the next thing you want to think about is your streaming device. So this is going to be what's going to enable you to watch your shows, your live TV, all of that, which we'll go over later. But first, you have to figure out a way to watch that. So one of the main ways is to purchase a media hub. So I have a list of them right there, and that's not even all of them. And how does it work? So basically you pay a one-time price for the device. That's it. You pay a one-time price and you're going to get it, and you plug it either directly into your TV or into an HDMI cable, which plugs into the TV. And it depends, some of them come with HDMI cables, some of them don't. And some of them, if they're smaller, you pay a little bit more. It's actually like the Roku Streaming Stick Plus, you would just plug that right into your TV. You don't even need a cable. So it just depends. And these are only some of the options that I list here. And I'll go over prices on the next slide. And even if you look at Roku, I list 4 there, and that's not even all that they have. They have so many. They have, I think, 7 different devices that you could purchase, all in varying price ranges. So it's crazy what you can get. If you don't have that, you can have a smart TV. Now, some people might already have a smart TV. I think just a lot of TVs now are smart TVs. So you think of it kind of as like a smartphone or an iPad, but just on a TV screen. You access online content by connecting to your Wi-Fi network. And with a smart TV, you don't need an external media hub. So all your channels are displayed on the screen. You don't need that media hub to provide those channels. I would say the bottom line for the smart TV is if you need a new one and you don't already have an external media hub like a Roku, then it might be worth it to get a smart TV. I think when they first came out, they were very expensive, and it's just, the prices are just going down and down because they're just, I think a lot of TVs now are smart TVs. The last thing you can do too is if you have a decent laptop or iPad, an HDMI cable, you can simply connect them to your TV and you could stream right from there. That can get clunky, and with a media hub that's not that expensive, which you'll see there's a couple that really aren't. It's just worth it and simpler probably to purchase one of those. So here are some, we're gonna look a little bit closer at some of the devices that you can purchase. So Amazon has some. They have a Fire TV stick. It's $40. They also have a 4K version, which is $50. So if your TV supports 4K, which basically just means it's a sharper image quality. I think it's 4 times the pixels of a normal TV, so it's just going to be really clear and really sharp. If you know that your TV supports that, you probably want to purchase a device that can support that as well. So if you were going to do a Fire Stick, you would probably want to get the 4K version for $50 instead. Amazon Fire TV Stick is great. It's fast. It has voice support. I know in some articles they said one downside to Amazon is that they push Amazon content. So if you're not a fan of that, it might not be for you. If you love Amazon and everything Amazon, then you might want to try it out. They also have a TV Cube. I just put that on here because you can see the range, the price differences. That's $120. It's just so much more sophisticated. It's super fast. It's actually like you can control your whole home entertainment system and other things. It's basically an Alexa speaker with at the same time. So you can just see what kinds of things you can purchase. But that's just if you have money to spend and you want to go really high end, you can purchase that. I think, and a lot of articles will say the same thing, the Roku Express is going to be the least expensive one. It's been called the best budget streamer. It's inexpensive, $25. It's simple to set up. Roku itself has a free content section, so any Roku device that you purchase, once you plug it in to your TV, you're going to get some free content just from purchasing the Roku device. So Roku Express is great, $25, pretty cheap. They also have a streaming stick plus, and that is $50. And that's actually been called like the best streamer overall by CNET, one of our websites that I use for information. It offers 4K support, and it's smaller than the Express. This is the one I said you can just plug right into your TV. It's probably it's simpler to set up than the Roku Express. So for $25 more, it's a simpler setup process. It's smaller, and actually it includes voice support, which is nice. So the remote has voice support on it. You can talk into the remote and ask it to put on a show or whatever. So it depends on your needs, but that's what's available. We have Apple TV 4K. That's also a really high-end streamer. If you love Apple products and you have money you want to spend, it's probably the best that there is. Superior voice control, a really awesome remote, just a great interface. It's of course very pricey. Google Chromecast, that I know I have a coworker who has that. That's another one you can purchase. And you can purchase these anywhere. I mean, Amazon, you could purchase them. Best Buy, online, Walmart, I'm sure. So that's where you would purchase them if you'd want one. And the Google Chromecast is a nice one. It's a mid-range price, $35. It actually doesn't come with a remote, so it's a little odd that you have to have a smartphone or a tablet to control it. That's how you actually control it. There's no remote with it. So the Chromecast itself is plugged into your TV, and then to actually control the channels you need to set up your smartphone or tablet with the app to control it. So it's I think it's a little funky, but some people really like that. So I have now a stopping point for any questions about these media hubs that you can purchase, smart TV, stuff like that. I don't know if anybody has questions.
Somebody wants to know, how do you know if you have a smart TV?
How do you know? Well, I mean, I guess it depends. If you purchased it recently, it might just be one. I don't know how recent you purchased it. I can actually probably find more information. A lot of them now, I had a hard time even finding TVs on websites, like on Best Buy, that weren't smart TVs. If you purchased it in the last year, it might be a smart. I mean, I don't know. I think you might know. I just don't know when you purchased it. Is it older? Are they saying when they purchased it?
Someone said when you put it on, ours usually comes up with smart TV on the screen. I would think if it has any capability or ever asks you to connect to the internet, odds are it's a smart TV.
Right. You can look up your model number online. You can look it up and see exactly what it says. You can type in what you have and see, yeah. Check the remote and menu options, see if it talks about apps. If you're able to use it, I mean, if you've been using it to access Netflix and all of these other things, it might just be a smart TV. But I can even find more information and send that to you. Does anybody have any more questions?
Nothing yet. No. I'd say you're good to maybe move on.
Cool.
Oh, so, well, smart TV started coming out in 2008, I guess. So after that,
they've been around for a while. I remember reading something that one in 2012 was like an exorbitant, like actually just a huge amount of money, and they've gone down. I think if you're going to buy one now, it's probably worth it to purchase a smart TV. I don't really know how much. I don't think they're a ton more money than a regular TV. So let me go back. next thing we can talk about is live TV streaming versus on-demand streaming. So now that we talked about what equipment you need to watch these things, we can talk about what you can watch. Now there's kind of two options here. Live TV streaming is like traditional TV, but it delivers content over the internet. So you basically scroll through channels that the service offers, you pick one, and you look at, and you're viewing the program that's already in progress. So I don't know if some of you have some live TV streaming services already, but some examples would be YouTube TV, Sling TV, Hulu has their live TV, Philo, and I go through these later. So I just wanted to kind of distinguish the difference here. On demand is what we think of, is Netflix and Disney Plus. So those are on demand. It's a library of shows and movies that you watch on your schedule. You stop and pause and you can continue watching, switch to a different show at any time. So I just wanted to distinguish those there. And I don't know if this is obvious, but don't forget that before you can start browsing content on these channels, you have to sign up for the service. It's not free to get these, so you have to pay for Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube TV, Sling TV, and it's separate from those media hubs I was talking about. You buy the Roku, and you're not getting any of these channels without signing up for them separately. Now, Roku itself has their free channel. That's kind of a unique thing. I don't know if many other ones have that. So the easiest way is probably to go on PC, smartphone, go to YouTube TV, and sign up with your email password and put in your money information, that kind of a thing, and then sign in on your TV. I think that's probably the easiest way. You could do that with Netflix, with all of them. And if you wanted any more information on any of these, just type in Google and you can go right to their site and they will tell you more about them. There's a lot of info on the individual websites. So here are some. We can dive into specific ones. We have YouTube TV. I know a lot of people like YouTube. It has the most channels. So I think I've read that people say it's the top choice for those who want to replicate the cable TV experience. It's $50 a month and you get more than 70 channels. And like I said, you can go to the website to see specifically what channels are available on there. And it's only one that includes PBS, actually. So that's kind of a cool perk. All of these have DVR. So all of these you can record your live programs and watch them later. But what's unique about YouTube TV is that you can keep them for 9 months, which is really cool. A lot of the other ones, I think it's 30 days or something like that. So no, it's a cool perk. 9 months, you get to keep your recordings. Sling TV is another one. They have few local stations, and they also confusingly have two options, Sling Orange and Sling Blue. They're each $30, 33 channels on Sling Orange. It's kind of like the ESPN and Disney package. Sling Blue has NBC and Fox. If you want to get both, it's $45. So that's Sling. I don't know too much more about it, but you can go on the website, like I said again, and look up some more information. $30 to try one out, though, isn't too bad. Another big one is Hulu with live TV. So Hulu with live TV is popular, has a lot of channels. It's $55 a month for more than 60 channels. And with Hulu, if you get Hulu with live TV, it includes Hulu's on-demand library. So you're going to get the live TV in addition to their on-demand library, which is their original TV shows and movies. Now you can get the live TV only plan, and it's $54 a month. So I'm not really sure why we would want to even do that. For $1 more a month, you get all of their on-demand library as well. So I know Hulu has like The Handmaid's Tale, that's one. So if you pay $55 a month, you get the live TV part of it, and you get the other content. One frustrating thing of Hulu with live TV is that it's $10 more a month to skip commercials. So when you on DVR, so when you record, you have to pay $10 more a month to skip commercials. So that's that. There's AT&T TV Now, $55 a month for 45 more channels. I added that because they do have a way you can add HBO for $10 more a month. But you can actually add HBO and other premium channels to a lot of these services as premium add-ons. And that's readily available. You can see, if you go on their website, they tell you how you would do that. Philo is another one. It's $20 a month, which is a really good deal. They don't have sports or local channels, but if all you're really into is entertainment and lifestyle channels, I think it's really a good one. They have, you know, Food Network, HGTV, stuff like that. And at $20 a month, if that's what you're interested in, that's a really good deal. CBS All Access, some of you might know about it already. CBS All Access is $5.99 a month or $9.99 a month with no commercials. And CBS All Access kind of does it in a different way. All their plans include, it's only 4 channels, but they do have live TV, and it includes your local CBS station. But what you're really paying for is all of their great shows, current seasons and complete past seasons. They have NCIS, Blue Bloods, the new Star Trek, Picard, Discovery, the new Twilight Zone. So they have a lot of good shows. I put it on here under the live TV streaming services because their plans do include the 4 channels of live TV, which includes CBS. Fubo TV is good for sports people, but I think they're really geared toward international sports and soccer and golf. So they don't have ESPN channels, and it's a little pricey. But if you're really into those specific things, then it might be something to try out. I just found out about Pluto TV. It's kind of cool. It's free, completely free. They have it's a fun little interface. They have movies, throwback sitcoms, vintage movies, reality shows. They have news as well. And then they have an eclectic mix of stuff. It's just fun to try out because it's completely free. So you might as well. Let's keep going. So I didn't trust myself to take you guys to a website in this Zoom session because I really haven't done a lot of Zoom classes. But I wanted to show you what it would look like if you go to one of these websites. So this is Hulu with live TV. This is from the website. I just did a screenshot. It's telling you all the channels that are available. And then you can actually click on view channels in your area. And the little picture below that is what happens after I put in the zip code 06405. It's showing me all the local channels that are also available. One thing, it's important to note that live TV is always going to be a little bit behind regular, even though it's live, quotes live. It's going to be, I would say it could be 30 seconds to a minute behind. So if you are watching a game and you're on Twitter at the same time, I don't know. You might, if you don't want to get spoiled by something, then, you know, don't go on the internet while you're watching something because you might be a little bit behind. So that's always going to be that way. There's that lag, just so you guys know. I don't think that's too big of a deal, but some people might, so I wanted to mention that. All right, did anyone have questions about the live TV options?
So we have 2 questions, and they're pretty similar. People seem to be concerned about local channels. Can you get local channels to some degree on every live TV service, or is it limited to only a handful?
I think it depends on, it seems like the more expensive ones just have more channels, more options, more local channels. I would say if you want that, you're probably going to want to go with either YouTube TV or Hulu's live TV option. And those are like, they're the pricier ones. They're $50 and $55, but they have a lot of channels. Like I said, Sling doesn't have a lot of local stations. Philo, that's not what their thing, that's not what their whole thing is about. CBS All Access does not have many. Fubo TV is kind of like geared towards sports people, but they are pricey. They might have some. So really, I think your best bet is to go to the website, like I said. So if you just go to Google, type in YouTube TV, it's going to be like the first thing that pops up. You click on it, and these websites are pretty nice. They're laid out in a way that makes it easy to understand. I think I went to YouTube and Hulu with live TV, and it was pretty clear. Like I said, so here's the picture of what you have available. I think it just going on the website would kind of, you can view all the channels. So this is all the channels that are available on Hulu with live TV. Does that help? I'm trying to think of another way to.
So basically it sort of depends on what channel you're looking for. If you love, you know, News Channel 8 or Yes or Nessun or something.
It does depend. It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it depends. I think, yeah, it depends. There's, I don't know. I mean, Hulu with live TV, they have CNN, they have NBC, MSNBC. You're probably going to find a lot of these same ones on YouTube TV as well. But I think it just depends. Some of the cheaper ones might not have everything that you're looking for.
So it sounds like it's very personalizable, and you sort of have to know what you want to know what will be the best deal for you.
I mean, I would say if you're trying to replicate cable, it's difficult. But like I said, YouTube TV, I know I keep saying it, it has more than 70 channels, which is a lot. Hulu has more than 60. And if you look at some of the other ones, they have like half of that at times. So it does depend. And I actually have a link. I can go all the way to the end for a second because I have a link here that might be helpful. If everybody could see this resources slide, the second bullet, there is a CNET article just from recently, from May, that has a chart of the top 100 networks from ABC to CNN to PBS to TLC and everything in between, and which streaming services include them. So it's going to compare YouTube TV, Hulu's Live TV, Sling, Philo, Fubo, AT&T Watch TV, and AT&T TV Now. That's a mouthful. Oh my God. So if you click on that, once I can email you guys the PowerPoint, and if you go to that article, it's going to be a nice chart where you can look at all of the channels and which services offer them. Does that help? Do we think, or no?
Yes, this is great. Yes, helpful.
Okay.
Okay. So we had another question. With CBS All Access, do you know what 4 channels they have?
I have that. Let me just check quickly. I just looked at it a little while ago. I can find it very quickly. I think it's like CBS. It's CBS, CBSN, CBS Sports HQ, and ET Live is what they say on their website.
So we have one other question, sort of going back to what we were just talking about.
Okay.
When you go to these websites to find out what local channels it offers, how does it know where you are? Do you put in your zip code or your state?
I put in the zip code so when I went to Hulu Live TV, I just didn't screenshot that exact part, but all your TV in one place. So where I circled says view channels in your area. What happens is then it pops up with another box where you put in your zip code. Perfect. So yeah, I entered 06405 for me, Brantford. I can read you what it says on the website. Channels in your area, enter your home zip code for channels available in your area. Live TV is available for those live, local, regional, and national channels available in your area, which are subject to change. Yeah, so that's how I got the little list on the bottom of that slide.
All right, that looks like all the questions I have so far.
If that makes sense. Did that help? It's right on the website. You click view channels in your area and you just type in your zip code and it pops right up.
Yes.
Okay.
That answers that question.
Cool. All right. So now we can talk about on-demand streaming services. So I say these are the big ones that I know about. There are others, but Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, CBS All Access are probably ones you've either heard of or maybe you have already. So here we go with our little list here. I list them and the prices so we can go over them quickly and I have a few things to add. There's Netflix, which is $9 a month. But it's important to remember that $9 a month you are paying for one screen. So if you have more than 2 screens going, or if you need more than 2 screens happening at once, you're going to be paying $13. And for 4 screens, it is $16. And actually only the second and third plans have support HD, high definition. So the $9 a month for Netflix is just the base one. It's the lowest, the cheapest that they have, which is not too bad. So they have really great original programming, tons of shows, tons of original shows and movies. I have Netflix and I feel like I could just watch stuff forever and ever. So they have no ads. They have a nice interface, I think. Netflix is pretty cool. It's kind of like the grandfather of them all. So I say if you want to start with something, if you give Netflix a try, you might just find that that's enough. There's also Hulu. Now I mentioned Hulu before because Hulu has the Hulu and Live TV, which gives you access to their TV shows and movies and the live TV. But if you just want the TV shows and movies, the on-demand content, you can pay $6 a month or $12 with no ads. So that's how they work. I would say, yeah, so the base on-demand plan includes ads. So it's pretty cheap, but they have a couple ads. And I know Jenna has Hulu. And she was saying that it's just kind of quick ads. It might be like a couple minutes in the beginning. Sometimes there might be 1 or 2 in the middle and then 1 at the end, but they're not long. So if you don't mind that, it's probably worth it just to pay $6 a month. They have some original shows. I know they have The Handmaid's Tale. I'm not too familiar as much with Hulu as I am with other ones, but they do have a lot of good content. I know it's really popular. Then there's Amazon Prime Video. It's $13 a month, or you can pay for the whole year. So it's $119 for the year. And I think so you're saving money if you do a yearly plan. Prime has a lot of original content and shows from other networks. The nice thing, I also have Prime, and it's really cool because you can rent or buy movies and TV shows that they don't offer for free when you subscribe to Prime. So if you search for a movie and it doesn't come with your Prime subscription, you can just rent it, and it's usually like $2.99 to rent a movie. HD would be like $3.99 or something. You're also getting other perks, 2-day shipping. That's fun, of course. So Prime is cool. Amazon Prime is nice. The interface is a little clunky. I find that searching for things is kind of frustrating. I don't know why it's not better for Amazon, but maybe they'll update it at some point. But it's still great. We have Disney Plus also, fairly new, $7 a month. It's really good for families. They have all the Marvel movies, all the Disney and Pixar. They also have National Geographic on Disney Plus. So all of Disney-owned content in one place. They have cool original shows. They'll probably be having more at some point. But The Mandalorian, if you like Star Wars, that was really good. That was fun to watch. I put CBS All Access on here again because they have both the live and the on-demand content. But they have more of the on-demand, so the more of the TV shows. So they have their original Star Trek Picard, The Good Fight, like I said, NCIS, huge catalog of all the older shows. And both plans come with the live CBS News. But the live TV will have commercials. So even if you pay even if you pay the $10 for no commercials, the live TV that you watch does have commercials. It would just be the on-demand content that would have none. So here's just a couple fun things. Look for like a lot of bundles and special offers. There's all kinds of stuff out there. I put 2 on here that I always, well, this Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN package I see a lot. If you get these 3, it is $12.99 a month. So if you're looking to just try something out, this might be fun to try. And it's worth it. I mean, Hulu and Disney Plus by themselves are $13 if you get those 2 together. So if you're interested in all 3 of these, you can do this package. Another special offer I noticed when I was researching Roku was this one on the right-hand side of your screen. It's if you buy a Roku player or a Roku TV, but you can just buy a Roku player, so one of the cheaper, the $25 ones, I imagine. I hope that's part of this deal. You can get Showtime and Stars for free for 30 days, which is pretty cool because a lot of free trials are 7 days. So if you buy a Roku, you can redeem this 30-day free trials of these 2 add-on these 2 premium channels, Showtime and Stars. And I think you have to get it by May 31st. So I included it in this slide because you got a little bit more time if you want to take advantage of that. It's kind of cool. And another thing, I wanted to plug in the library into this a little bit. It's really cool because we have the free library apps and you can connect them to your TV. It's awesome. We have Hoopla and Canopy, and you can get them as channels on Roku, Chromecast, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, all of them. I think you're able to, it's compatible with all of them. So you can sign up for Hoopla and Canopy with your library card on the computer or on your phone. All you have to do is put in your email, password, your library card number, and you're signed up. It's free. And then I linked these 2 articles on how to how to add the channels to the devices that you have. So once you're signed up for Hoopla and Canopy, you can visit these help articles and they'll show you how to connect them to your TV. So Canopy is all movies. It's pretty cool. It has the great courses. It has the Criterion collection. They have a lot of independent films, a lot of documentaries. Canopy is really nice. Hoopla has movies and TV shows. They have some good content as well. And don't forget, you can only have 5 checkouts per month for Hoopla and 5 for Canopy. But still, it's something, it's free, and you can watch them on your TV. So it's really cool. So don't forget to try those out. Yeah, so that's a quick overview of the on-demand services that you can get. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, CBS, Disney Plus. I think there's others. Those are the big ones that I know are really popular. Did you guys have any questions about any of those?
Someone has a question about Hulu. So you talked about Hulu with live TV.
Yeah.
Is that different from regular Hulu that's, $6 a month?
Yeah, Hulu, $6 a month is just going to be their, it's not any live TV at all. The $6 a month is just going to be their TV shows and movies. So it's just like a Netflix thing. There's no live TV. $6 a month or $12 with no ads. That's just for their on-demand content, which means like their TV shows, their original shows, their movies. If you want to get Hulu live TV, it is $54 a month, I believe. And then to get both, it's $55.
All right, follow up. Does the $55 include the on-demand?
Right, it does.
It does, okay.
It does. I think I have that here.
Yes, includes Hulu's on-demand.
Yeah.
What do you mean by 5 checkouts on Hoopla and Canopy?
Oh, I'm sorry. So the Hoopla and Canopy apps that we offer for Blackstone patrons, you sign up for them, but the way it works, the way we have it set up is you can only have 5 checkouts or downloads per month. So if you sign up for Hoopla or Canopy, you can basically, Canopy's all movies, so I'll use that as an example. You can watch 5 movies per month with Canopy.
And one thing with Hulu to keep in mind, or Hoopla rather, sorry, every episode of a TV show counts as a checkout.
Yes.
So you can't really binge watch things on Hoopla.
No, Hoopla, right. Hoopla, I would say maybe go look at some of their movies. That might be more worth it, because since you only have 5, if you get into a TV show, yeah, like Jenna said, it's 5 is going to be 5 episodes. So it's not the best. 5 isn't a huge number, but it's just something to try out. It's free. Yeah.
They have a great selection. I love Hoopla. There's so many different things on it.
Hoopla's great. And Hoopla's not just movies and TV shows. Hoopla has books and comics, and Hoopla has all kinds of things, but I mention them here because they have because we're talking about watching TV shows and movies and stuff, so you can connect it to your TV. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah.
Is the selection on Hoopla recent? I would say fairly recent.
Yeah, I think it's fairly recent. I don't know. It's kind of a different kind of mix, though, right, Janet? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what the word to just. I mean, with Hoopla, you're not going to find big blockbusters that have just come out.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
You might find like some British shows, British movies. I'm trying to think what else they have on there.
It seems like a lot of like mid-range things. Like you said, like you're not going to find Marvel movies and huge blockbusters. So you might find some indie movies, some direct-to-DVD things, some more low-profile things that are good, but you might not have heard of them before.
Yes. That's a good way to describe it. I'm like looking right now. I see 13 going on 30. I see that. Sorry, Emma with Gwyneth Paltrow, Bel Canto with Julianne Moore, and that came out. I feel like that probably didn't come out too long ago. So some newer stuff, yeah, but maybe things you might not have heard of. And I think that they do take things away sometimes. It's not too often, but
Well, that's true of any streaming service, right? Stuff comes and goes.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I've browsed more of Canopy's selection, but they're both worth it. You're gonna probably find different things on each one.
Yeah, Canopy strikes me as more highbrow stuff, like the Criterion Collection documentaries, more like Oscar-nominated stuff, whereas Hoopla is more popular stuff.
Yeah, I would say that. So it's, they're different. Could try them both out. Yeah, Canopy is like world cinema, a lot of documentaries, stuff like that.
Yes, it is 5 checkouts for Hoopla and 5 for Canopy. They're separately. Someone just asked that. They're 2 separate.
They're 2 completely separate resources that we provide through the library. You sign up for them separately, and you get 5 checkouts, downloads, watches, whatever you want to call it, 5 on Hoopla and 5 on Canopy per month. And they reset on the 1st of the month. They don't roll over or anything like that. For a while during the pandemic, we had 10. So we actually bumped it up to 10 for each resource. And it might still be like that for a little bit. You might have till the end of the month. So you might want to take advantage of that while you can, but I think that's definitely gonna go back down to 5 soon.
I think I went on Hoopla yesterday and it was back down to 5.
All right, because I'm looking at Canopy now and it's at 10.
Oh.
So maybe, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's just kind of some more miscellaneous information. One other thing you could try is an over-the-air antenna. And I know in my last class, I don't know if anybody is here again, just to kind of get updated information, but there were a few folks that said that it didn't work for them. But I'll just explain it a little bit anyway. So it's kind of like a lower cost alternative if you want to do a combination of an antenna for live local channels and then an on-demand service like Netflix. And then you could get live programming and have a choice of on-demand content. So it's something different to try. but depending on your proximity to broadcast towers, it might not work at all. It might be worth it to just give it a go. I have a link at the bottom of this slide, best TV antenna for cord cutters in 2010 or 2020, sorry. So that's a recent article, and some of them are cheap. I guess the cheapest one in that article that they talk about is $10, so it might just be worth it to give it a go. It's an indoor antenna. You would put it like on your window. Some of them come with sticky things you could put on the window or on your wall. I think it works better if it's up a bit like that on the wall. So it might be worth it to try. And I also just mentioned that you might want to hook a DVR up with it so that you can save stuff to watch later and skip commercials. So I do link another article about the best DVRs for people using over-the-air antenna. So it's just something else to try if you want to try this like a cheap option first to see if it works, and then maybe you don't have to do some of the more expensive things if you're just interested in local channels. And another little thing that I want to go over, because I feel like I'm kind of assuming, but I want to talk about local news a little bit more because I think that might be one of the main things that people are interested in. If you don't want to get some of those other more expensive services, there are these apps for local news. So one of them is called News On. There's Haystack TV, Pluto TV. You can check all of them out. News On, I think, might be one of the coolest. It has full-length live and on-demand newscasts from, it says more than 275 stations around the US. It's just an app you can actually get on your phone or on any of those devices that you would hook up to your TV. So it shows the latest newscasts from nearby stations, and then you can go look at previous newscasts. Haystack TV puts together clips from local and national news sources based on your chosen interests or topics. So you can kind of curate it the way you want, like pick your topics, and then they'll give you some clips based on that. Pluto TV, I mentioned it before. It's kind of a fun little site. They have movies and TV shows, but they also have news. So it kind of mimics the live news experience of cable TV with like around-the-clock news. These are some that include CBSN, NBC, Sky News, Bloomberg. There's others, so that might be worth it to try. That's free. And News On and Haystack TV are also free. They're apps that you can get right on your phone or through the TV. So they might be worth it to try out too. Right, we're coming to the end. So this is sports. I don't go into sports a whole lot. It's one of the more complicated aspects of cord cutting, if anyone's really into sports. I put here the best sports streaming services for 2020. This article, this person named like their top 9 picks. So you can go there and check that out. Another article, how to watch live sports without cable. And then that final article talks about regional sports networks, because one of the issues is if you want to watch it just depends on in-market teams, out-of-market teams, you might need a regional sports network. And some of the live TV services have regional sports networks, some don't. If you follow out-of-market teams, then it's more difficult, and it might be, actually, some of them it might be impossible. So sports is complicated. If anyone's really interested, I can find out even more information and dig a little bit deeper. But these are some good articles that I found that are recent that will give you tips on how to get the sports that you're looking for. Here is one more thing. So the Brantford Community Television is on Roku. So if you guys have a Roku, you can actually get BCTV as a channel. They offer programs produced by members of the community, educational programs. They have the Brantford Forum, RTM, inland wetland meetings. So it is a cool thing if you have Roku. And it says here, actually, it's coming to Amazon Fire TV soon. So if you have that, you can also get the BCTV channel. So here we're kind of at the end. Here are some things to go over. Think about really what you want to watch and if there are things you can live without. It's really difficult to mimic the cable TV experience to a T, you're going to end up spending the same amount. I mean, if you get all of these services, if you get YouTube TV, and then you get all of these on-demand services, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, you're going to end up spending the same amount as cable or even more. So you really have to think about what you want. If you're really more into live TV and TV news, maybe you get YouTube TV for $50 or $55, whatever it was, $50 a month. And then you don't get some of these on-demand services like Netflix, but maybe you get, I don't know, DVDs from the library, or you can use Hoopla and Canopy. But it's just, you got to think about what you want to watch the most. Or maybe if you're not into the news and sports as much, but you really want to see cool TV shows and movies, maybe you don't get one of the live TV services, but you go for a couple of the on-demand. So think about what you want, do your research. You got to go to the individual websites to check out full channel listings. You can look at articles and reviews. One thing to remember is to check the publication date of the articles that you're looking at. Some of them are older. They try to update them. They say at the top if they're updated. I think everything I have here is recent. This kind of thing changes. It could change just from day to day. I think services get canceled. Prices change from day to day. So, you know, do your research and just try to keep up with the different things. And a good way to do that is looking at articles that other people have written. CNET is a great website. PC Mag, Consumer Reports, we have them here. I can scan certain ratings to anybody if they want. YouTube has good information too. You can look at YouTube videos for how to set up some of these devices if you get confused. If you buy a Roku and you're like, how do I plug it in? There are videos on that. And yeah, think about other ways to access information and watch movies and TV shows. Like I said, the library has tons of DVDs. When things go back to normal, we can get even more from other libraries. So maybe you do that instead of subscribing to Disney Plus or Netflix or something like that. Some of them do take, some of the original shows take a while to come to DVD, but they do eventually. And other ways to access information. Maybe you listen to podcasts for news or get news apps on your phone instead. So there's things like that to think about. And then take advantage of free trials, special offers, bundles, free trials. There's a free trial for pretty much everything, I think. So if you want to try Netflix out or Amazon Prime or anything, it's usually a 7-day free trial. And you can see if you like it and then continue. And sometimes you can even watch a whole show in the 7 days, and then maybe you don't even need to get it for the rest of the, you know, for monthly fee. But that is that. Here are the resources I have for you guys. I can email you this PowerPoint so that you can go to all of these articles and check out all these cool resources. I think that's it.
Christina, do you want to type your email again into the chat for anybody who missed it at the beginning?
Yes, I will.
No.
Here I come.
Something I can also do is, Christina, if you send me the PowerPoint, we can send it to the whole Eventbrite list to everybody who registered.
Yeah.
Get a copy of it.
Yeah, Hulu and Disney have that joint deal. I saw somebody asked that. They have that one that has with ESPN Plus, so it's like $12.99 for Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus. But it's going to be Hulu's on-demand part. It's not Hulu's live TV. It's just going to be their on-demand, so you're going to get their shows and movies.
And somebody just wants to point out that you do have to remember, if you do a free trial, just remember to shut it off once the trial's over. You have
that
to
is something to remember, because they'll just, you know, they'll start charging you probably.
Automatically if you don't cancel it.
Yeah. Same thing with this special offer that I mentioned, where if you buy a Roku product, you can get 30-day free trial of Showtime and Stars. They even say at the bottom, cancel before 30-day free trial ends or subscription renews at full price. So yeah, don't forget to do that. Sometimes that makes me not even want to do it because I don't want to forget. So just, yeah, don't forget. All right, I'm trying to put my email. Here we go. I hope this was helpful. There's a lot. There's a lot you can do. In researching this, it was just even more complicated. There's just so much that you can get. There's so many different things you can try out. And there's just so many articles about this, people talking about it. So I try to just give you guys like the tools that now you can use to go and do more research on what you think you would want the most. I gave you some good links. So yeah, we're pretty much at the end. If there aren't any more questions, that is it. I put my email up there on the chat again, so it should be at the end of the chat. Feel free to email me any kind of tech questions, any questions about cord cutting. I can send you guys information. Yeah. Yay, good. I'm glad. I hope, you guys learned some cool stuff. Jenna, was there anything I forgot about?
I don't think so. One thing I do want to mention about Pluto, I have a Roku and I have Pluto, and it's like every channel is like the same show or group of shows on 24/7. So if you're into like binge watching something or just want like background noise, it's good. Like, yeah, so it's not like exactly like live TV. Every channel has its own theme, and
it's like theme. Yeah, I just started looking into it. I like just found out about it. I was like, this looks kind of cool. I kind of like the way it's set up. It was kind of funky, and it looks like old cable, like old. I don't know. It just kind of reminded me of like the cable TV experience kind of thing. So it was cool. Fun. Yeah, I think they organize it into different like categories, right? Like they have an anime channel or something, or an anime.
Sitcoms, reality shows.
Yeah.
Older stuff, but free. And it does have ads, something to keep in mind, but they're not, terrible.
Older stuff, movies. I saw like older movies. Yeah, sitcoms.
Yeah, like the Thriller movie channel, and all it is.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was kind of fun though. I don't know. Yeah. I liked their approach to it. It was like a different approach, and it's free, so I don't know. Try it out.
Yeah, good background noise.
Yeah.
But that seems like it's it for questions.
Okay, cool.
Has any last minute thoughts?
I'm glad that this was helpful. Yay.
Okay, I'd say we're good.
Yep. I think we're all set. My email's there. Copy that down, and
we can send everybody a PowerPoint.
Yeah, look online to see when I'm offering it again. If you, like I said, you have people who want to do it. I'll probably be doing it in September, so keep an eye on that. Maybe it'll be in the library. We'll see. So thanks, guys. See you guys soon.